Hey, what's up? This is Neil, and this actually might look really funny to have this like stack of quilts here in front of me. There's actually 3 different quilts, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the Outdoor Vitals StormLoft Quilt. And here's what's actually really cool about this video is I wanna talk with you about their brand new version that just came out. That's this one right here. You can tell by this different color. I want to share with you about their previous version that I have in a 15 degree, and I also have it in a 30 degree that's down here. So stick around. We're going to talk about all things quilt in this video. The first thing I want to do is talk about the difference between a quilt and a sleeping bag. And I know that some of you, maybe you have already understand that difference. So just look down in the bottom. YouTube's great about doing chapters and you can kind of skip that first section. Then what I want to do is I want to talk with you about the Outdoor Vitals. I want to talk with you about their StormLoft Quilt. I want to tell you my experience with them. I've been using them for about 2 years. I'll let you know why I switched over to them. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the upgrades that Outdoor Vitals made to this new quilt. So stick around. I think this is going to be a great video. I want to try to structure these videos in a way that it's you and I sitting in my kitchen having a conversation, as if you and I were getting ready to go backpacking together. I'm not gonna try to sell you anything in this video. I will tell you where you can go buy it, and I'm gonna give you my honest feedback and my honest input on anything that I show you here. So super excited to have this conversation with you. Let's get right into it. I've moved some of the quilts behind me, but I've kept the newest version of the Outdoor Vitals StormLoft Quilt to talk about. And if you're interested in moving from like a mummy bag, so right here I have a mummy bag. This is an REI, I think this is a flash one. Let's see what it says here. It's an Ineo. This is a 25 degree bag from REI. This is a bag that I've used. This is a bag I bring, and my kids still use it. They really like it. But I do think this summer my son is gonna move to a quilt. And stick around kind of for later this summer to see what happens. The difference, the main difference that you're gonna see is a sleeping bag or a mummy bag like this has a zipper that's gonna go all the way down. And so you can climb into this. This bag from REI has a draft collar. This quilt from Outdoor Vitals has a draft collar also. So both of them have that option. The one thing, and probably the reason that I moved from a sleeping bag to a quilt, is as I was doing research and studying this, I'm a side sleeper and I toss a bunch. And I found that in a mummy style bag, I would just get twisted up at night. I was always moving and moving around, and I really liked the freedom that a quilt offers. On a sleeping bag here, you have your zipper, right? Oh, that fell. So you have your zipper where you can, zip it up and keep yourself warm, but then you're stuck in here. You've been in a sleeping bag and you've felt maybe stuck. Now with a quilt, let me step back a little and show you this. With a quilt, this is open. So this part is gonna go on top of you like this, and then underneath is just gonna be your sleeping pad. And Outdoor Vitals on this quilt has some clips and some straps that you can put on it, but you're just gonna put your feet in the foot box. I'll show you that as we talk about the quilts. And so that's the main difference here in a sleeping bag and a quilt. Sleeping bag has a zipper, it's fully formed, and a quilt is open in the back. For those of us who like to wiggle around, this is why I shifted over here. What we have here is the Outdoor Vitals StormLoft 15 degree quilt. And I purchased this quilt with my own money. I actually found it on one of the sales that Outdoor Vitals was doing. I'm part of their membership. It's called the Live Ultralight membership. I pay 10 bucks a month. And basically the way I view it is it goes into a bank account, and then I look at my account on their website, and then I can use that to buy things when they come up. I had a sleeping bag, a different one that I showed you earlier, that REI one. I bought this 30 degree bag. I was super stoked on it. And then I took it out on a trip and was freezing cold. And what I realized really quickly is that the 30-degree bag that I had bought, like 30-degree was the survival rating. And so one of the reasons I moved to Outdoor Vitals is because 15 degrees is the comfort rating. And so that means that this bag, you'll be comfortable down to 15 degrees. I've had this thing out in some cold nights. I don't think I've ever got down to 15. And I have always been warm. One of the reasons that I like this is Outdoor Vitals has a foot box on here. And what you can kind of see is this angle here on this foot box. And what that means is when you're sleeping, your feet are gonna kind of kick out a little like this, but the foot box is designed for that. So unlike the sleeping bag, the whole back of this is open. You're gonna take these straps, strap them around your pad, and then this is kind of open in the back. But what I really appreciate about what Outdoor Vitals has done, and I want you to see this, that this kind of angles so that it wraps around you. What you can see is this clips in the back around your neck. And then there's a draft collar here, and you have a cinch cord so you can tighten this up around your head to your comfort level for what you want. What you're gonna see in the newer version is Outdoor Vitals made a way where you can kind of hide this cord so that it's not right in your face. You still have to keep the cord centered. A lot of people have said to companies, you know, why don't you take this draw cord and put it to the side? But if you put it to the side, it's not gonna pull evenly. You have to keep this here in the center. This bag weighs 1 pound, 7 ounces. And I almost got this bag in the long version, and I was on the Live Ultralight. There's like a special Facebook group that when you're a member, you can jump on. And I was just asking questions about it. I said, well, maybe I'll just get the long. And someone said, actually, no, you shouldn't. You want to get the size that's closest to you because you don't want any dead space in there. And that's even with the foot box. The way that Outdoor Vitals structured it is so that you have the best ability to stay warm in this. And this bag has been warm. This bag has actually been so warm that I was on the Outdoor Vitals website one day and this 30-degree quilt was on sale. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get that. And this is the same quilt. This is the StormLoft. This is the 2023 version. You can actually still buy these on their website. These are great. I really like this quilt. You still have the foot box. I think it's called articulated so that your feet fit in there well. Now the difference, you can see that this is red, and that's because this is a 30-degree quilt. It still has the sides that are shaped at an angle so that it best like compresses around your body. I think one of the reasons that I really like going with Outdoor Vitals is I know they put time and effort into studying this gear. Outdoor Vitals is not just cranking out gear to try to make a buck. What they really want to do is they want to get you and I the best gear to get out on the trail. And I know that can sound like a sales pitch, but I've actually gone to their office. I've actually connected with them. I did it on my own dime. I was traveling in Utah one time and I was like, I just need to go. I need to check this out. But if you see how this curves around so that it form fits your body, you have this natural way of keeping warmth in. One thing that I do is, maybe because I'm a little OCD, but if anyone else, like you're out on trail and you like just want to keep grime away, hit that like button just so that I know you're with me on this. One of the things I do is I'll actually bring a sleeping bag liner, and they pack down pretty small, maybe the size of a softball. And I'll use that to climb in just to try to keep these as clean as possible while I'm out on the trail. So this is their 2023 version. This one over here, our 15-degree quilt in the regular size weighs 1 pound, 7 ounces. Our 30-degree quilt weighs 1 pound, 4 ounces. Both of these are ultralight. They're gonna come with a compressible sack. You can pack these down. And then what I do, I'll actually show you, if you stick around at the end, I'll show you how I store all of these just to give you that. Now let's move to what you really want to see. I know you want to see this new quilt. And a couple things that you're going to notice right away is you might notice that the baffles on this quilt actually go a different direction than they do on their other quilts. Let's grab the 15 degrees so you can just see the blue on blue. Now you see on this one, these ones go horizontal with your body. And on the new quilt, these baffles go vertical. Now, some things that you're gonna find on the 2024 version that are exactly the same as the 2023 version is you're gonna find this articulated footbox. And what that means again is there's just gonna be more room for the tops of your feet, how you're naturally going to lay. One of the things that Outdoor Vitals did on this is you can see the angle here, how this is actually gonna hug your body better. Outdoor Vitals did body mapping on this so that this is gonna hug your body to the best of its ability. You're also gonna notice here on the draft collar that the sides come up more. So you're gonna kind of have almost like a U shape on the draft collar. And what that means is this is gonna naturally go around your body. Now they did something really cool here too, and I know I'm giving you a lot of details, but this pull cord still pulls from the center, so you can cinch it down, but then they put these two little loops here so you can stick the cordage through, so it's not gonna be in your face. Do you see that? It's not in your face anymore. You still have the snap, so you can snap this around you. And even what I wanna share is every time I've used my quilt, I've never gotten to a point where I've been that cold that I needed to cinch up the draft collar like that. If you purchase this from Outdoor Vitals, you're also gonna get a storage sack that looks like this so that you can keep this stored loosely. That's one of the things you wanna do. And it's also gonna come with this stuff bag that you can use when you're out on trail, and it's gonna come with your two straps to go around the pad. Now these straps hook on your quilt, they go under your pad to keep it tight on there. Some people might say, I don't understand, right? There's no zipper on the side. How does it stay, around your body? It's these pad straps that just go around your sleeping pad. When Outdoor Vitals did their insulation in here, they used a gold, like a nano gold technology. Okay, like let that wrap around your mind. They use this nano gold technology, and what they found in this technology is that the gold actually like activates the down in here. And so if it's wet, let's say you're hiking and it rains during the day, let's say you're tearing down camp in the morning and it rains on you, or you get your bag wet, whatever may happen, you got dew in your tent, you can actually compress this down, and throughout the day that gold is kind of gonna like move the particles around, and it's gonna disperse any water or wetness that might be on your quilt. That's kind of crazy, right? That's like some E=mc² math equation stuff going on right there. The weight for this quilt is 1 pound, 8.3 ounces. So you're very similar to the previous model of this quilt. This is gonna be the quilt that I'm primarily taking with me this year. I already have 2 backpacking trips on the books. I'm trying to get 1 more in. And so here's what I would say is if you're interested in a quilt, I would highly encourage you to check out Outdoor Vitals. When I was doing my research, I felt like what I was gonna get, what I was looking for, and the company that I was supporting, this fit those that I needed. This fit my price range. I knew this was gonna be durable gear because I've bought a lot of gear from Outdoor Vitals. I told you I would talk about storage. And so what you can do with your quilt, and this is what I do, is you just take it and you actually want to stuff it in from the foot box first because you want to let the air squeeze out. You don't want to put any pressure on this. But I just take these, stuff them in here. I take my storage bag, stuff it in here, cinch this up. I'll show you how this looks. This, fits down to, I don't know what this is, 2 feet across or something. And then I just take this and store it loosely under my bed. My 30-degree quilt I've been hanging up in another closet. My REI bag I've been hanging up in another closet. My other Outdoor Vitals 15-degree quilt I've been storing like this, and I would just really encourage you, if you're gonna spend money on something like this, you really wanna take care of your gear so your gear takes care of you. This quilt right now is going for $359, and it's worth it if you're out in the back country. You wanna make sure you have something that's gonna keep you warm, that's durable, that's gonna meet your needs. I hope that this has really been helpful for you. I'd encourage you to check out some of my other videos. I'll put a video over here about Outdoor Vitals, their Nova UL puffy jacket. Last year I hiked a section of the John Muir Trail, and that jacket was great, so I want to put a link over here. And then over here I'm going to throw some info about Fire Maple gear. This is a new stove that I've been using. It's actually replaced my Jetboil, and so I'm going to show you a comparison of that over here. So hey, thanks so much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down there. I'm pretty responsive on here. And yeah, if this has been helpful, please like, subscribe, maybe share it with someone. All of that helps.